Hello and welcome to FMCasual. My name's Lawrence and I have a brilliant save in store for you. The title of the save, as you'd have been able to tell in the thumbnail, is Amateur to All-Star. Now in this video I'll be exploring a few of the rules, targets and aims we'll be having for this save, so keep watching. Okay, here we are on the Football Manager home screen. Now, as you can tell, there's a nation that has already been chosen. You'll be able to see from the number of names on there. We'll be starting in Germany on our save. Now, as mentioned, with it being amateur to all-star, the starting point is an amateur football team. So it can be in the German Landesliga, the Oberliga, the complete regional divisions. I could have gone further back or lower in the table of the Football League of Germany, but the database that is available on the workshop is actually a really, really good one, so I didn't want to mess around with that too much. Now what that means for this save is we'll be starting there, and we've got to try and reach all the way to 5 stars. Now, to achieve that, there's a number of aims along the way. We'll have to obviously win European competitions. We'll obviously have to win the national competitions and national tournaments. Fundamentally, we're going to have to try and win it all with a 1 club save. All starting in the very, very bottom of the German Football League and working our way up. There's plenty of teams to choose from, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun along the way. So this video today is going to be quite a short one. The main idea and objective behind this is just to make everybody aware of how it's going to work. Okay, so as mentioned, the target is 5 stars, and we have to start off as an amateur football club. So if we look at the German football pyramid, as you'll be able to see on the structure here, the German Landesliga here for these teams is the lowest tier we can go to. As you can see as I scroll over here, there's a number of different teams to work out of and start with. When it comes to relegation, if we get relegated in the first season, technically the save's over. We won't be doing that. So I've tested the database before. I know it can be worked with, and I know it can be promoted from. As I mentioned, it's a very, very good save and very well set up. And there's a large number of teams to pick from. And who wouldn't want to pick us? Who wouldn't want to choose our very, very, very desirable personal ratings? There's a lot of 2s and 1s there, and we're English and don't know a jot of German. I know a little bit, but not enough to be fluent. And unfortunately, if I'm not fluent, then I'm not going to be able to speak it. But as I say, here is how it starts out. Here I am, FMCasual. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So what we'll do on this one is just have a quick look around and see what the rules are of the competitions that we'll be playing in. We'll also have a look at the maybe some of the kind of clubs that could potentially be choices. Obviously, if we got promoted to the Oberliga, it's a pretty reasonable reputation division in comparison to kind of the English pyramid of working our way up. If we go down here, so the official name is the Landes- and Verbandsliga. I don't know what that means. I think Landers means land. I know Liga means league. Liga means league. I know that one. So if we look at this tier here, obviously there's a variety of different teams in these divisions. Each one has its own number of teams competing in it. So if you look here, there's 16, 18. There are some second teams performing in these leagues as well. So when it comes to progressing up, we'll have to take on the likes of, Dortmund 2. I don't know if Munich 2 are in this or not. I haven't checked, but we'll have to see. Let's have a look at the rules, shall we, of this tier. So if we look at the German Landesliga of Hanover, there's 4 teams relegated from this one and only 1 promoted from it. Bit of a challenge. I think some do have 2 promotion slots, or no, they don't. Oh, hang on. Hello. There is 1 with 2, 3. There's 2 with 2 positions that are promotable from, and these ones have a few more teams in them. A lot of teams can get relegated from these, though. 5 teams is a lot of teams that can get relegated. So if we look into the rules, the way in which it breaks down, some of these obviously will have teams play twice. That's one of the basics, obviously. There must be at least 4 domestic under 23 players. Squad must have no more than 3 over 23 players in the playing 11. That's only the B teams though, so that'll be fine for us. Under 16s aren't allowed to play, and only players registered for this competition are eligible. Some standard rules there. 5 subs can be used from 3 stoppages from a maximum of 9 named. That's quite handy. Trialists can't play. There's only one league I know of that lets that happen, and that's the Scottish leagues. They can't play for more than 2 clubs players. Standard rules on punishments. There's no money for getting promoted, which isn't very helpful. So it means very frugal management, I'm guessing. No non-EU players, which is understandable. It's quite easy to find EU players. And there's quite a few players that are treated as quite a few nations that are treated as EU actually. So we'll cover that in a second. Maximum squad size of 99 players, which is easy enough to work with. Some registration periods, which is fine. Transfer window, which is fine. I know that you can get free agents during the period from the summer to the end of the January one, so that's fine. Loan rules, maximum 7 foreign-based players over the age of 22 allowed on loan at a time. Maximum 7 players over the age of 22 allowed out on loan to a foreign club at a time. So 7 loans is understandable. So here are the nations treated as EU. Obviously, all the European Free Trade Association nations. So all the ones you'd been able to standard get your transfers from previously. South Korea's one. Andorra, Australia, Canada, Israel, Japan, Monaco, New Zealand, San Marino, USA, and Ukraine. So a fair few number of nations that can be picked from. Unfortunately, I haven't got any of those leagues loaded up as part of this one. If you're wondering what the leagues are, these are the leagues available. So we've got Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria. So these ones we're playable. So if you look at the vast majority are playable in the top tier, but view only below. That's just to make sure there's a healthy number of players. As you can see, the approximate player count's 120,000. Confident my computer can handle that. And the only nations to be played in as full is Germany and Austria. So that's just naturally because of the players that you can get available from Austria being so close to Germany. And the expectations are kind of pretty similar for the players. So there's a large number of nations to choose from in terms of where there's going to be players generating, accruing experience. So it should mean that we don't want to run out of players anytime soon, which is good. League's rules are goal difference, goal scored, away goal scored, and results between teams as well, which is quite handy actually. And as I say, some divisions seem to be 1 promotion place, some are 2. So a lot of challenges in here, just simply by the way in which the competition itself kind of set up and it lends itself. Now there are some cup competitions that can be taken part in. So if we look at VfL Alfter, there's a Mittelrhein-Verbandspokal. Don't know what that is. But the way these competitions work is if you get to the final, you qualify for the DFB Pokal. Now, it's not completely easy, and obviously you get £30,000, which you can't sniff at if you're an amateur club. But it's not the easiest thing, because obviously you have to go through a vast number of teams, and it's not just teams from the lowest leagues. You do have the regional divisions playing in this. Now, these teams themselves can get promoted to the 3rd league, so there's a lot of challenge in here. So they're actually pretty good teams. You got Mönchengladbach 2, Düsseldorf 2, Köln 2, Schalke 2. So there's a variety of teams that are in these competitions. At least I think they are. No, they're not. I thought they were. But these divisions are quite challenging, which means the players that have to play against these second teams have to be of a good quality. So you look at Aachen here. I mean, look at that. 2-star, 3-3, and they've got an estimated value of 2.1 million and £218,000 in the bank. I mean, that's a lot of money. That can't be sniffed at. And they're the teams we'd have to compete to, because if, and this was something I discovered on my trials, if we win these sort of cups, it's a DFB Pokal. Now, when you go to the DFB Pokal, there's a lot of money. Let's just quickly have a look, see if we can try and get it up. Let's go to Köln. Let's have a look at their fixtures. So if we look at the rules here for the Pokal, the first round, You get £185,000 just by simply being in it. Now, I was playing on one of my trial saves of this, and I managed to get a team who were in the second to bottom division up to the 8th final. We made £739,000 from reaching it. So this is our cash cow. This is our way to really, really progress. If we have a team that we choose with a really good stadium, then there's a lot of opportunity, and there's a lot of scope to potentially, fill out those stadiums if we play. And I played, I think it was Cone and someone else. So big clubs in Germany, big clubs. Obviously, with the way in which it works out, they're big clubs in the local areas. A lot of fans turn out for their games, and so that's where we have a chance. It's the second most reputable cup competition to the FA Cup, and Leipzig have won it the past couple of times. So obviously in the first year we won't be in that, because teams that low just haven't had that opportunity previously to get into the league. But that's the way that it works out, that after the first year there's a good chance of us getting further and further up. Now if you look at the job centre and we filter this down to simply just be the teams from the lower reaches of the German division, and I think luckily they're quite clearly worded, so let's have a look here and see if we can try and find them. So I don't want international or international youth, so goodbye to you. Let's go for Germany. These are all the job vacancies. Now, as you notice, I haven't got any kind of logo pack on. I don't think the teams this low in Germany are in the logo packs. If they are, and I'll try and see if I can download them. I'm kind of technical. I'm not massively. But as you can see, there's so many jobs to choose from. But are they going to pass the name test? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you've got to take charge of a team from a place that has a name you can actually kind of believe is going to get to that level of football. So, I mean, if you've got a team like... let's have a look. See if there's a team that's got a good name. Halle 96 sounds familiar. Yeah, VFL Halle 96. So I mean, they sound. I say they sound familiar. They are not a team I'm aware of. No, I've never heard of them before. But that sounds like a team you can take charge of. It's 8,200 capacity stadium. I mean, that's really healthy. But the club hasn't got much money in the bank account, and it is semi-pro, so we couldn't choose those. But as I say, if we go through the different options, there's a semi-pro team there. Amateur, there we are. FV Rot-Weiss Weiler. £623 in the account. And with the way in which the team's been set up, there are players that are real. So look at this guy here, Michael Schmid. But there are some players... No, he's not a good example. He's not a good example. Is he a good... No, he's not a good example. I should probably just look at their general information. There we are. So we have got some... depending upon how you word it, region or new gen players that can be picked from. He doesn't look too bad, I imagine, for this division. He's got good technique and good passing, and his finish is actually pretty impressive. He can't run, but if he's just stood there, maybe there's a chance. We'll have to have a look and see if we get this job. But as I say, this is the save that I've got in store for you. Please make sure you like and subscribe and keep tracking these videos, because there's going to be a lot of fun behind them. It's not obviously serious, it's just a bit of fun, quite casual and quite laid back. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video, and keep an eye out for the next one. I'll see you soon.